everybody, Automotive Inc. Today we are doing the year-long review, so the long-term review of the 2024 Subaru Forester. How's it held up, miles per gallon, etc. Before we get started, if you wouldn't mind smashing the subscribe button, helps the small channel out. Have a lot of great Subaru content over there. We even did some on the 25, and we're going to have the unveil of the Subaru Hybrid Forester that is coming soon to a dealer near you. So, how has the 24 Subaru held up? Well, now that I've had an opportunity to drive the 25, the wife actually looked at the 25 and decided on a different SUV. I still like the look of the 24 better. I'm not a huge boxy fan, and the more I see them out there, I'm not as in love with the outside. The inside looks good, but I like the 24 better. There are a lot of different nuances to that, how they changed it. And I do like the smaller screen and knobs versus all a touch screen. I do like touch screens, that's fine. But when it's all on the touch screen, I prefer knobs. Anyway, so the 24 Forester has held up very well. I've had zero issues with the car that made it go back to the dealer. I currently have 8129 on the miles. So as we pan through here, it has seen a lot of driving, a lot of city driving. And if we cruise through here, you can see that my average is 26.7 on this current tank, but I always do keep it right there. One thing I want to point note on is the auto start stop. It's fine in this car. I forget to shut it off most time. It does have a hard button right over here. And you can see that in 2 hours of the start stop working, it's only saved just above a half gallon. Now, if I cruise over here and look at my overall B miles, we can see that I've averaged, let's get here to the main miles, because I always leave it set. So you can see right there, that's at 28, but that's not what I'm wanting to see. You can see over here at 8,000 miles, I've gotten almost 28.8 miles to the gallon. That's pretty good, considering now most of my driving is in town versus before it was kind of urban. I had some city, then mostly 55 and under. On the highway, it will reach up to around 32, so I'm very happy with that. The start-stop feature, I think, really has put more wear on my starter than it saved me on fuel. I could just do without that, but that's basically something that's here to stay on most of the vehicles. So overall, fuel economy is pretty good, running 87 and 91. I've even ran some clear gas, which is ethanol-free, and really have not noticed much of an improvement over, say, premium. And it is just as expensive, if not more. The only thing that I guess I would have, and this is normal for any car that's made out of 90% plastic on the interior, is when it's cold, the upper grills rattle, because plastic is just like metal. It expands and contracts with heat and cold. So one thing I do to get rid of that sound in the morning is just turn your defroster on for about a minute. I call zapping it like in the microwave. You zap it, it expands the plastic. Other than that, the car's had no rattles, no issues. I did have a weird thunk after hitting a massive pothole when I first got it. So if you have a weird noise coming from the front of your Subaru Forester, go over and check that video out. I fixed it myself without having to take it to a dealer. After checking out forums, they said it had something to do with the front end, and they replaced that. Pieces like the control arms and stuff, they changed those out on a brand new car, and the thunk was still there. It was actually two just guide pins in the steel in the engine compartment. I put some foam in there, and it alleviated that. The exterior's held up well. This does have very minimal amount of chrome on it. Those chrome pieces have held up well with the mag chloride and salt here in Colorado. The tires still look great. It's up for its first tire rotation. I have zero oil burn. It's done really well in the snow. A little bit different than the manual Subarus that we have and had in the family. Those are a 50-50 directional all-wheel split, all-wheel drive system all the time. This one is front-wheel drive biased, so it's going to slip a little bit before it engages it, but X mode defeats that. Basically, you can put it in just snow and dirt, and it'll do that. I like that it rolls in and out of that. This eyesight safety system versus my 21 Outback is absolutely better. I haven't had an opportunity to have a new Outback to see if they adjusted that, but My Outback had weird braking, weird activations of the safety system, slamming on its brakes, veering into other lanes when it lost the lines. And this one, the eyesight has worked really good. One thing I do appreciate about this Subaru, and many of my Subarus have passed, is Subaru doesn't break the mold when it comes to designing their cars. They just keep refining what they currently have. And I think they really listen to their customers. If there's a customer complaint, trying to fix that. They do try and keep up with the styling of other vehicles. Hence the 25 is definitely boxier than this one, has more angles like a true Subaru. And I think that that's probably the direction they're going with the next Outback, which I'm not overly a big fan of, but we'll all get adjusted to that. But they just keep it simple. Everything's easy to use. Everything's plain and simple. There's hard buttons to turn off in the Forester. With the smaller screen, there is hard buttons to turn off safety tech at just one glance. You don't have to go into a sub menu. Now, some of the new ones with the bigger screen, you are going to have to go into the screen and turn off some of those, but not all of them. I think most of them still have hard buttons there for that. Really a good ride. I had a lot of people say that have ridden it that's a very nice, quiet car, considering it has OEM tires on it. They're pretty good. Haven't had any problems in the snow, no road noise or anything. So just being a regular OEM first tire on a car, I'm pretty happy with that. We've done some accessory stuff to the car. We have those videos on the channel. So if you want to see some of those, I think it's really good to add those cheap little pieces of flair to your car. And like I said, you can lease a Subaru pretty decent. At a 10,000 mile a year, you can lease it pretty decent. They always have pretty good, if you have decent credit, you can always get their financing for that. But overall, I mean, the car's held up well. It will haul 5 people total in this car. Plenty of cargo area. And like I said, just overall good Subaru reliability. Now, Consumer Reports did come out and say that Subaru is now ranked the most reliable vehicle out there. And I'd probably agree with that. I've never had a problem with it. I've had some watchers say that they've had reliability issues with their Subaru. And it's a bummer that they did, because I've yet to buy a single Subaru, whether it had 0 miles on it or 200,000 miles on it, if it was taken care of, that actually had any issues. And that's whether it was a manual or an automatic or even a CVT. And I think really it comes down to maintenance on any car, on how long it's going to last and how good and reliable it's going to be. You got to realize that most Subaru people that are first coming to Subaru probably believe that every Subaru with the Boxer is going to drive like a WRX or an STI. That is not the case. So you got to curb your expectations on that. Is this a powerhouse? No, but it gets along just fine getting on the highway, going in the mountains. Have no problems with that. I do wish they made an XT Forester. However, I hear that's a hotter item up in Canada than it is down here, and they still don't have it up there. But they do have an XT Outback, so it's the more of the wagon versus the SUV look. But I'm very happy with my purchase. Like I said, everything's held up well in here. The exterior's held up well. I still think that Subaru paint is probably one of the flimsiest ones out there. But it's held up well to rock pits and no door dings or anything like that. It has sat out in some hail, didn't get anything like that, but the paint still looks good after a year. I think it sits in the garage a lot when it's not being driven, so you know, you're definitely going to save your paint there. But it all comes down to exterior maintenance too, waxing and cleaning and everything. I've had 0 issues with the 8-inch touchscreen in here, but again, I've had some watchers say that they had issues with the 12-inch and it was out of warranty. It's very expensive. You have to do the forecasting of, if you're going to keep your Subaru for a long time, it's newer one with all this tech, it might be advantageous as you get close to your 36,000 mile warranty to purchase an extended warranty, especially the more tech and swag that you have in there, because all of this stuff will be extremely expensive to replace if that was to happen. But then again, that hasn't been my experience. Seat comfort in here is great. Seat quality material, Subaru uses mostly real leather over most competitors use a synthetic and or very limited leather on their seats. One ding I would say is at this price point, you have a heated steering wheel. It is not heated all the way around. The top portion, this portion right here, is not heated. Why? I'm not for sure. Again, it's just going to be kind of one of those things that they do offer a 360 heated steering wheel in the Touring. I don't know why you would not just do it all in this trim. This is a limited, so we're one step under a touring. But all in all, would I buy this Subaru again? Absolutely. I'd buy just about any freaking Subaru. I love them. They're great. They have great resale. I just looked at potentially cutting down, just having the big truck on the channel, and the trade value is exceptional. The buyout is exceptional compared to other cars. For instance, we just got rid of the wife's Hyundai that only had about 6,000 miles on it. Excellent condition, top of the line for a Tucson. I think she paid close to 44 for it, and even after 2 years, exceptionally low miles and everything, they had it at like 24,000, one dealer, and that seems kind of sad. So I think that the retain of value in my experience selling Subarus has been awesome. We currently have a 23 Legacy, a 21 Impreza, and to put that in perspective with how much the value is retained is we bought a 17 Impreza that my son had for a long time, had 2 accidents, and eventually was totaled because of hail. All of that other stuff was repaired, but the hail came and just trashed it. And we got $3,000 less than what we bought it for brand new. Even with all that on the history, the insurance totaled it and bought it out. It was a no-brainer, so the boy bought a Legacy. Unfortunately, didn't have a manual anymore in most of their cars, and he didn't want a WRX. So he has a Legacy now. Zero problems with that. Zero problems with our 21 Impreza. And so at the end of the day, I definitely recommend a Subaru. It's held up very well. I'm very pleased with it. It's a very comfortable car to drive. It's good on fuel economy. It has plenty of zip in town and on the highway. I really don't know where you go wrong, but I will tell you that Subaru is a Subaru, so those people going to look at a Kia or a competitive model, they might think the tech is better or more or whatever, and I say get what you like for sure, but I definitely think that Subaru should be in your wheelhouse. So as always, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, notification bell, and again, head over to the channel and hit the search bar, type in Subaru, and see all the great stuff we have on Subaru. I'm going to catch you on the next one.